What's good, everyone? It's Adam from iMusicMore. Welcome to a brand new video. Today we're going to go ahead and remake Roddy Ricch's Roller Coastin', so let's get straight to it. First things first, is going to change our tempo to 163 beats per minute. We're going to bring in a piano just to start off this track. It's pretty much the pattern that loops itself throughout the entire record. Steinway grand piano, and let's start off with that pattern. All right, so there's the pattern right there. Next, what we're gonna do here is make it a little bit more human-like, so it's not so staticky. We're gonna select all of our MIDI information over here. We're gonna go to functions. We're gonna go to MIDI transform, and we're gonna go to random velocity. I'm just gonna go select and operate between 40 and 90 here. And that's gonna give us a little bit more of a realistic playback. Already sounds a little bit better. And then what we're gonna do here is I'm gonna go ahead and just add some strum to it just to give it a little bit more of a human feel and push it a little bit off the grid. So first thing I'm gonna do here is just going to quantize to 16ths. And I'm gonna go to my Q-Flam over here. I'm just gonna push this off a little bit. So you see how the notes are moving? It's just gonna give it more of a realistic vibe. Maybe we'll go to like 70-ish. All right, next thing we're gonna do here is I'm gonna bring an instance of Wavy. And I'm just gonna add in a little bit of reverb on top of this here. We're just gonna use space B. Give it like a room type of sound. Alright, so next thing we're gonna do right here is gonna duplicate the track. And we're gonna create that guitar sound that layers up this piano through different parts of the track. We'll copy down this MIDI region over here. We'll go to our browser, we'll go to Legacy, we'll go to Jam Pack 1, we'll go to Guitars, and lastly we'll go to the Textural Electric right over here. And this is what we get. Now, I'm going to make this a little bit harder hitting, so I'm going to pull up the velocity on all of them. Some notes I'm going to make hit harder. Because I want those notes to ring out a little bit more. And then we're just going to go ahead and just adjust some of the stuff here. I'm going to bypass this flanger right over here. I'm going to bypass this guitar amp here. Take out a little bit of the bass. Next, what we're going to do here is we're going to go to our amps and pedals. We're going to go to Bass Amp Designer. And I'm just going to make this sound like the one in the track itself. We'll find something that sounds good here. That kind of gives us the vibe that we're going for. And then I'm just going to bring in another instance of Wavy here. Once again, I'm going to use this big reverb. I'm going to take a little bit of the top end of this piano out, just so it doesn't override the guitar. Alright, that sounds good. Next, what we're going to do here is create a new software instrument track. We're going to create that lead that happens on top of these sounds, the dun-dun-dun-dun. So for that sound, we'll go to User Patches, we'll go to the Mobile Preset Kit. We'll go to Expansion 2, and I'll bring in the Futzel Shuffle sound because it's close to the one in the track once we manipulate it. And let's go ahead and draw in that pattern. Let's just pitch that up a couple octaves. So for this sound, I'm going to pull it up closer just to the square wave here. I'm going to pull up the attack just to soften up the attack, so it's more of like a lead type of sound. Next, what we're going to do here is just going to take this sound and just lower the velocity a little bit. Maybe that sounds a little bit better, softer. A little bit better. And once again, we bring another instance of Wavy here just to sort of add in some space. I just want it drenched in that reverb. All right, so there's that sound right there. Next thing we're gonna do here is create another software instrument track, and let's create that bass sound. Once again, we'll go back to our library over here. We'll go to user patches. We'll go to our mobile presets once again. This time we'll go to the expansion 1. And I'm going to bring in the Drake Moog bass preset. And for this one, I'm going to create a pattern, not a pattern region. Why do I keep doing that? Let's create a MIDI region. And let's get to that pattern. So this pattern actually goes for 8 bars. So let's go ahead and set that up. Join that together. This just goes up here. Pitch that down a couple octaves. Clean it up a bit. Let's see if we make this a little bit harder hitting. Pull down the glide a bit. Okay, that gives us the bass. All right, so now that we got that set up, let's go ahead and put in some of the atmosphere, some of that sort of pad sounds in the background just to fill out this track. I'm creating a new software instrument track. And for this one, we're going to go ahead and bring in Logic's Alchemy. For this sound, we're going to go to Soundscapes. And we'll go to this preset right here, a partition materialized. We'll leave it on the digital atrium right over there. And let's go ahead and draw in this pattern. Just going to add textures to our sound. Just pull this up a couple octaves. So I just want to create this sort of landscape of like sort of ethereal type of sounds. Next, I'm going to duplicate this track once again, and we're going to create another layer of this pad sound, except I'm going to lower the velocity on this one a bit. We'll open up Logic's Alchemy. For this one, I'll go to pads. I'm going to go to a preset called, here it is right here, Endless Universe, and we'll leave it on the first setting over there. Just creates this ethereal type of sound. See how it adds a lot in the background, except I don't want it too much in your face. I'm going to group these together. I'm going to open up an EQ and just going to filter out a lot of the top and bottom end of it. I kind of wanted a little bit narrow sounding. Something like that. Just in the background, you know it's there. So you kind of miss it when it's gone. All right, next let's go ahead and get to the verse part. The piano switches up a little bit, so let's start off with that. So I'm going to take out the guitar sound over here. I'm going to duplicate this piano track actually just to separate the two. I'm going to move this pattern down over here. And for this piano, I'm going to add in a couple notes just to differentiate from the intro bit. I'm going to take out this EQ so it's a little bit brighter. Make these a little bit harder hitting. Maybe not that hard. I'm going to make everything a little bit harder. The bass comes out. And then before the wavy, I'm going to bring in another instance of Bass Amp Designer. And I just want to get it sounding sort of like a guitar, but like a piano, sort of mid-rangey, but bright at the same time. If that makes any sense. So now we're going to go ahead and just try a preset that works here. It gives you that sort of muffled vibe, roomy vibe, but still very present. All right, so next what we gotta do here is, I guess, bring in the drums. So let's go ahead and create a new software instrument track. And for this one, I'm gonna go ahead and bring in a drum kit that I made for this tutorial called Roller Coasting Drum Kit right over here. And I guess we can start off with the snare verse since it's easy. Next, let's get to the hi-hat. We got to put in a couple note repeats in this pattern, so let's get to that. All right, next is going to put in the open hat. Now let's go and put in the 808. Repeat that over, and let's drop it down a couple octaves. And then over here, there's like this weird sound that's happened in the background. I don't know if it was on purpose or a mistake, but it sounded sort of like a mouse click, almost something like that. I don't know if the engineer by mistake was recording when he was mixing or not. Just really strange sound, but I'm going to go ahead and put that in because I heard it. So I'm going to open up my MIDI region over here. Let's go ahead and draw in that pattern, that clicking sound. But that's it. It's only for that part of the beat. And then when they loop that section, it comes back, but it's only on that first part of that verse section. So I'm going to take this out here. And then we're just going to add in a transition here. So I'm going to go to my loop browser. I'm going to go to my drum kits. I'll go to the 2022 kit. We'll go to effects and we'll bring in the Mogul riser. And we're going to put that in right here for a transition effect. Let's just line that up. All right. And then I'm just going to bring in another instance of wavy just because it's a quick way to bring in some space. And we'll lower that up a bit. All right, so there's the foundation to the track right there. I'm gonna go ahead and listen to the original track and just make sure I got all the pieces, mix it together, arrange it, and we'll come right back. All right, so we're back. Here is the final arrangement right over here. I did add in a couple of pieces to the arrangement. I just wanna show you those before we play it back. I did add in the vocal atmosphere bit over here. I couldn't quite find the same vocal because it is a vocal, it's very unique. So I just sampled that from the original track. And then in the breakdown over here before the chorus, we get a kick and a clap. And I did a little bit of duplicating the track here on the lead sound because if I just solo the two out, one is on the left channel, one is on the right channel. So interesting automation here. I guess the mixer just wanted to give some space in the track and they just pushed one of those elements of the sound to the left and one of the elements of the sound to the right. Interesting automation, so I just want to point that out. And that's pretty much it. Other than that, sit back, relax, and enjoy. Listen to the remix we just put together, Rowdy Rich's Roller Coastin'. Let's go. So right there is the remake to Rowdy Rich's Roller Coastin', remade in Logic Pro. My personal favorite song from Rowdy's latest album. If you haven't heard the album, definitely go take a listen. It's really good. This is my personal favorite. For your Logic users, I will place the session as a downloadable link in the description box below this video if you do want to check it out. For you non-Logic users out there, got your back as well. I'm going to go and export all the MIDI stems, audio stems, and of course include the drum kit that you heard in this remake. I'll place that playback down below the like button as well. If you do have any questions on this or just want to chat, let's go ahead and talk in the comment section below. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next one. Later.